big deal. You gonna find her a piano player? Oh, come on, I saw the way you looked at her. You say piano player, but you mean organist. Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, Chelsea, I'm living with Chelsea. I'm in love with Chelsea. What's Chelsea's phone number? What? What's it spell? Now your little memory trick? Oh, it's Puzo. Really? Let's test it out. Is that 818 Puzo or 3 Puzo? All right. I made it up, but I don't have to call. Lives here. You don't have to call Mia either. Oh yeah? Well, what about you and Lisa? What's that have to do with anything? Nothing. I'm changing the subject to your peccadillos. You were banging Melissa in the hospital storage closet while your ex-wife was giving birth to your daughter. We don't know she's my daughter. Who's your daughter? You're my daughter. I'm your daughter. This whole court is out of daughter. Cappuccino. Great movie.
I find going live at the spur of the moment is better than waiting hours on end. Hello. Goodbye. Hello. I just figured I'd go live randomly. For some reason, it catches people off guard. Because you don't know. I mean, like, it's a regular weeknight. I have to go to work tomorrow, so. But, yeah. So we got, what is it? John saying that I hate the No Name Nationals group. No. I only hate people like him and the 7 others that have actually made my experience with the No Name Nationals group a living hell and total chaos. All throughout the 2 years while I was restoring the 57, I had too many people stirring the pot. Too many chefs in the kitchen stirring the pot and spoiling the stew. So, trying to get the decent information deciphered from the people who were trying to give me bad information was like total chaos. You couldn't find out anything. I knew what had to be done to an extent, but my biggest problem was trying to figure out that distributor. And you can't see where the piston is, with the spark plug and the wire in there and all that other jazz. You can sit there and turn it manually until you turn blue in the face. And if your valve covers are not exposed, you're not going to see the rocker arms going up and down either. So the only true fire way to find out if your timing is correct is to take the number 1 spark plug out and turn it till you think it's up on top dead center. And the distributor is pointed at 1. And then you take the screwdriver and it should poke the side of the piston. If it isn't, and it's not all the way up, that may not be the combustion stroke. But John has gone around saying that I hate everybody from the No Name Nationals. That's a typical reaction that I would expect from somebody like him because he has been the main ringleader of the circus crap that's been going on all along. So.
By guest, I mean, which I tolerate until my mother dies. She can't lay a guilt trip on me for kicking your ass to the curb.
The only thing I want is an apology for them. Because for 2 years, I had people telling me that, I should have honed out the pistons. Well, I did hold them out. I held them out with a dingleberry holder, you know, for 30 seconds. The pistons I got were standard. Brand new, but they were standard. And how they could be off balance? I don't think so. That was a Two Hacks Garage saying. The Two Hacks Garage also was the thing that was saying that my engine was a core. That because of the partial spun bearing, apparently I did this. I caused all the chaos. Uh, the engine is a core, and I would never be able to use it. It would never run. So I'm thick-headed. I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that something as simple as that could have caused the engine to stop running. So, in order to clarify it, I put the plastic gauge on 4 different sections of the journal. Like I said before, and I hate repeating myself, but if you're looking at a compass, it would have been north, south, east, and west. And then I put the bearings back in the cap and in the connecting rod, and I put the bolts back through, and I tightened it down to 35 foot-pounds. And when I took it off to see what the reading was, it was actually 0.002. So, hello. And the reason why I wasn't able to spin it by hand was because it actually, the connecting rod bearing went underneath the lip that actually gets locked into the cap. It went underneath it and pulled it up. So somehow that flap got flat. And it only went that far and it stopped. So in other words, I couldn't turn it manually by hand. However, when I turned it with the ignition, it was going very slow. There you have it. That was the problem. It wasn't enough to kill it. It was enough to stop it from doing anything manually. Like you couldn't turn it manually. So when I did that and I used my emery cloth in order to, shine it up or whatever, I actually put the connecting rod bearings in. And like I said, what the problem is now is the fuel lines in the gas tank. So in other words, there's a couple of rubber lines that are going across the frame railings, and I think one of them is severely disintegrated, like it's like black tar. It was in my hand like a liquid form, like the rubber had disintegrated to liquid form with the gas. So that has to be replaced. That I do know. Otherwise, the car will run fine. Because when it's got gas in the carburetor and I'm not recycling it with more gas in the carburetor, then it doesn't have a problem. When I put more gas in on top of what was already in there, that's what's causing the problem because I'm not giving the pump time to, recalculate or whatever or reload up. In other words, it only puts a certain amount out into the system from the tank. The tank is original, the fuel pump is original, and I'm pretty sure the lines for the most part are original. So what I have to do is I have to go and get myself some new line for the gas tank and run that out. I have the double flange, uh, you know, maker, double flare maker for brake lines and fuel lines. So I'll use that. Uh, but my experience with No Name Nationals has got nothing to do with everybody in the whole group. Okay, I'm not that what I call it, hateful. I mean, you do what you want. You know what I'm saying? I just don't support the 7, 8 people that have actually made my experience a living hell. One of them is John Wilbur. The other one is uh, Jethro from Two Hacks. In the beginning, we got along fine. Then all of a sudden, he started getting so fussy and picky with everything. It's like, look, not everybody works the same way you do. Not everybody does the things the same way that you do. And I got to give it to him. I'm not making fun of him. The guy he's good at what he does. But I just don't have the money for that kind of stuff. I don't have the kind of time for that kind of stuff. Between working my job, straighten out the house, the mortgage, and everything else, and then working on that, I don't have 6 hours to waste on an engine block trying to remove rust particles. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can't do that. My quickest thing would be like doing a dingleberry hone out of the cylinders, and then, the removal of the sludge from the heads, the intake valleys, lifters, the push rods, the rocker arms, because even that little pinhole in the rocker arms can actually get, sludge in it, and then you won't be able to get any oil coming out of that. So now, here's the other thing. When I did run the car, I could actually hear a very, very light tapping from the valves, not from the push rod. A lot of people were telling me that, that push rod is going to exit stage left. Hear knocking, but you can't come in. Well, I already told everybody this before. The the knocking from the connecting rod was due to thread, the bolt threads for the connecting rods having sludge in them. Okay, and then like I said, with the thing with the bearing being so-called spun, that didn't work either. And the other thing is too, like in the very beginning when I started working on this, uh, the timing chain was stretched, and that was like right after the first video of me starting the car and running it back and forth. The chain was stretched, which was the original GM gears and chain. It's stamped. I still have it. I told you guys I have it at my clean sink. So I put a double roller set of gears and chain on that. What the hell was it? The number 1 and the number 8 wires were crossed. They were in the wrong placement on the distributor cap. Which means probably all the other ones were too. They were probably in another sequence. So with the chain being stretched, the distributor having the wires in the wrong firing order or the wrong location on the cap, and what the hell else was it? Oh yeah, with the pistons being cracked like they were. The pistons being cracked like they were, but being held in with the rings, number 2 and number 3, and then finding out that the intake valves, number 2 and number 3, were bent, and using garbage tools to try and get them out. 5 tools later, wind up getting the 2 out that I need out. Putting the new pistons in and all that other stuff. It was all right. It was a bit of a struggle because I'm heavy. I'm underneath the car. I'm on top of the fender. My gut's in the way, and I'm not feeling good and everything else. And I really have better things that I want to do. But ultimately, in the long run, I get it done. So now the car runs, okay, and John was busy making fun of me, saying for all your body restoration needs, making fun of me because I'm showing what was it, a picture of the car with tape around the windows, and he says he can't wait to see the flashing over the door handles of the paint that I sprayed without taping off the door handles. Door handles were taped off. They had blue painter's tape on them. But see, this is the kind of thing. This is what John Wilbur does. That's the kind of mentality that John Wilbur has. When he doesn't like somebody, he tries to make them out to be the ogre in every situation. Okay, and he does these kind of childish things in order to try and put somebody on the spot. The same with what the heck was it? The other person. I don't want to mention names because I've already made that deal already. But when that person goes and threatens me and talk about sending me a plane ticket to come down to their house, and he's going to kick my butt. That's, come on, really. Uh, and then sitting there saying something about, I think was it his wife or something like that, doing drugs or something. I never said anything like that. I never even knew he was married, like I said. Uh, but, the guy just persistently does the same thing over and over again. He's got the same mentality as the other one. And then we had JB. He didn't like the fact that I caught on to his little stint too. There were other people that actually told me about what he was doing. And then I seen it in, what the hell is it, Mohawk 62's live. See, the reason why JB wouldn't put it on his page is because of the fact that he figured that I wouldn't find it. Well, it didn't work that way. I'm too visually perceptive for you. Let's see. So we found that, and that was told to me by another member named Will. Okay, and when I found out about it, I left some nice comments. Yeah, some real, what? Yeah, those kind. But then we had a problem with somebody else who was supposedly saying that they're standing behind me to back me up. Well, this person offered me something and then tried to renege on it and try to make me the responsible one for not getting it, when he was responsible for not giving it. Okay? Um, and I turned around and I told him, I said, look, you can tell me you're standing behind me until the cows come home. The only thing I can see is that you're two-faced. You're a what do I call it, part-time friend or a fair weather friend. And that's not a friend to me. And then the other thing is that I heard through the grapevine that, when John Wilbur's making fun of other people, John Wilbur needs to worry about the sponsors that he's losing, like Roadkill. Okay? When you run your mouth to the wrong person, and you're supposed to be an event organizer, you do not do those things to those people, because those people will turn around on you and say, see ya. Okay? When you have people that are in your wannabe organization or online organization, okay, and you do nothing but belittle, degrade, and make fun of them, and you do your best to act like a 3-year-old with the mentality of a 2-year-old, and you do nothing but cause chaos with that one person, and then you get others involved in your little evil circle, and you have them do the same thing, okay? Uh, that's when a person doesn't want to be involved in that kind of stuff. Now, these guys are younger than me, so it really doesn't bother me that much. I don't let it bother me like it used to. But the thing is that, I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit in a corner and keep my mouth shut and not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I haven't reached that decrepitude age yet where, uh, you know, I'm going to run around scared with my tail between my legs. It ain't going to work like that. Uh, if you're wrong, then I'm going to tell you wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going to tell you I'm wrong, okay? But the thing is like I said, when you sit there and make a person a member of your so-called community, and then you do nothing but treat that person with the lack of respect that they deserve, and your other members also do it, and then your higher-ups who actually work as announcers don't like the way that, this one person does things, but still has a tendency to get the job done, meaning me, getting the car done, okay? Um, then that bothers them. That's what really bothers them, because they can't understand how somebody with only the mechanical ability to know what this, that, and the other thing is can actually get a car running without blowing something up. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. I've been on YouTube for, I would say probably after a year after YouTube started. And we've had more ski repair We've had what the heck was his name? The other guy, Morsky's buddy. Not Dan. The other guy. Puddin's Fab Shop. Both of those guys have actually caught their engines on fire. I haven't. I don't think it's funny in one way or the other. I think it's a safety issue, and I think that means that somebody's not paying attention to what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Lack thereof. So, like I said, with the head gaskets, we know about the inner part of the firewall on the passenger side buckled when I put the head gas or the head on the block. And that's what caused the first set to go. Now, it took me 2 years to do an engine, paint, metal fabrication, and interior work. I'm still not finished. I still got to do interior work. I got to do the kit boards down over underneath the dash, and I got to do the seats. I started doing the back one, but I got bored with it, so I put it off to the side and just said later for it. See, when you own your own cars and you have your own channel, you don't have to meet somebody else's time schedule. That's not what this is about. Not No Name Nationals or anything else has got anything to do with how long it takes for you to build your car. You can sit there and talk all the mess you want, but that doesn't mean I'm going to move it any faster. Okay? But the fact of the matter is that everybody that was betting against me should have just sat back and not said nothing and watched. Yeah. But like I said, now I look at it now as, the No Name National. Like I said, when John turned around and first found out that I might have been interested 2 years ago, he wasn't interested in any 500 subscriber things. He was more interested in the cash. And I was told it was $89. Okay. And then I was told, well, once you do that, then you go down there and you have to pay I think it was a $5 fee for this, that, and the other thing. Like, nobody said anything about that. It's a cash cow. It's just somebody greedy getting so much money from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? In order to put on it may have been a good time for some of the people. But, for me, going from where I'm at all the way down there and spending the money on the gas, worried about breaking down, and, having the time off too. I mean, you have to have time off in order to be able to do that. And if you don't have the time off, then you're really just wasting your time. You know what I mean? So I don't know why. I don't think I get anybody on here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can see anybody said anything. Just about part. I am awake, Twisted. I'm awake. My eyes just always look like they're closed. See, I'm looking right at the screen, but it looks like my eyes are shut, right? Now they're open. I'm just laying down. Like I had a falling out with what was it, Brian the other day. He turned around and started bad mouthing me and all that other stuff. Oh, what's this with you wrapping a comforter around you and being online? I'm like, because I'm cold and because electric heat is expensive. Why else would you think? I, I don't get it. I really don't get it. People nitpick about the most dumb things in the world. I mean, come on, really? Like, I'm sitting here in bed. I have clothes on, but I'm in bed and I have a comforter on me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why shouldn't I be comfortable? I'm not supposed to be. You know, people kill me with that stuff. Yeah, see, look, my eyes are open right now. See, but when I go like this, I'm looking at the screen. They look like they're closed. So we didn't have anything but snow today. I think it was about 6 to 8 inches. So schools were closed. So I didn't have to get up. I didn't have to go anywhere. I just stayed in bed all day. It's a good thing too, because my back has been bothering me all day long. And I got some stuffed up nose, and The hell is the constant mucus and all that other crap too that I'm dealing with. So probably just better off staying in bed, staying at home. Uh, yeah, I'm sitting here watching 2.5 Men. Oh, like I always watch. Uh, cut back on the cigarette smoking now. I'll tell you that. You know, I remember every time like I'm on here and you'll see me with a cigarette in my hand or a cigarette in my mouth, laying off of that crap. I think what it is something to do with the cigarettes too. I think there's a chemical that's in it that's causing me to hack like that. Because when I don't smoke, you know, even if it's a couple minutes later, I'm not even coughing. You know, I mean, I get a spill every once in a while, but not like that. It's like every time I light up, I have that coughing. You know, like I'm coughing up a lung. So I like that. Twisted Mopar goes, wake up. All right, let's see. Welcome to live chat. Is it supposed to be on a live chat or is it supposed to be under the other one? I'm not sure. Ah, yeah. So tomorrow will be a busy day for me. Let's see. I have one, two, three runs tomorrow morning, and then what is it? Two in the afternoon. So I'm pretty much working all day. But let's see, what was I talking to? Oh, I was in what is it? Guns and Gears live. He was actually doing a live himself, but I don't think he saw me in there. You know, I said hi to him too, but yeah, what was it, Blake? Blake, I wasn't trying to destroy your live stream. I was just, trying to say hi to you first, and then, you know, the other member had actually started with their garbage. So I had to pull the old, well, time to defend myself routine again. Uh, and then somebody kept putting me in a timeout. I'm like, put me in a timeout. I'm out of here anyway. Kept telling me that I needed to go repent my sins. I'm like, oh, you mean the way you've been treating me for the past 2 years? Maybe you need to repent your sins. Ah. So I guess he didn't like to hear that. So, yep, that's about it now. It's not everybody in the group. It's only a selected few. And when they start ganging up on one another or ganging up with one another and start doing the same thing to the one person, then that number gets bigger. I mean, Jethro's a good guy, as far as that goes. Uh, but as far as the way he does things, I can't do what he does. I don't have a shop. If you notice, the stuff that he does is actually in a shop, in a garage, or something where he can work on it. Me, not so much. So if I have to work on it, I have to work on it out in the snow. You know, and I'm older than Jethro is too. I'm a lot older than Jethro is. I'm over 50. So, but yep, that's what that is. And then let's go and Lars, when he was at JB's live or Mohawks live, and they were all talking about my, well, according to what they say, foreclosure or bankruptcy. It was a bankruptcy in their mind. But see, there are specific names for things for a reason. A loan modification does not mean you're filing bankruptcy. It means that the mortgage company's interest rate has gotten too out of control. Okay, and so has like the state taxes and the actual mortgage amount itself. That's what it means. It's got nothing to do with bankruptcy. It's got nothing to do with foreclosure, okay? Foreclosure is when you don't pay your mortgage. And after a certain amount of time, they actually close your account. And what they do is they put you on the list of where the bank is going to take possession of your house. And you're either going to wind up going to jail because you owe them money or something, or you're going to be booted out of your house with nothing. Let's see. Now, loan modification is exactly what I had to go through. But the reason why they tried to do me wrong was because uh, when asked for a certain document, instead of them receiving the document and adding it to the file, they kept calling me back, telling me they needed the other document. Then once they got that one, they needed the other one, and I'm like, and it took 3 months for that because they wouldn't get their, butts in gear. And then the next thing I know, I'm sitting there getting the notice that says foreclosure. So that's why I had to do what I did. But anywho, yep, that's about it. So let's see. The next car that I'm going to be working on is going to be the Olds. I got to start getting work done on that. I got to get the quarters cut out. Uh, I'm going to make them. I'm going to try making them myself because that car is very simple in that area, and they're both about the same size. So I'll probably fabricate the metal myself. And then once I get the framing of the outside part made up, where it's actually taking over the inside part, then what I'll do is I'll cut the bad part of the inside out and make another template out of the other parts, and just make the inner part of it and connect it via welding it. Uh, I don't know how they did that on the side. They actually had um, like a little strip going up around in between the wheel well and the wheel well molding. Okay, so I actually have to uh, take that down and see what that looks like. You know, Jesus, 250. Yeah, I found out that Rob's Rods is not going on tonight, so I figured I'd fill in some time for some other people because maybe their time is usually with him. I don't know what happened with Jason. I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, I thought he was going to be back at it, but so I even got a congratulations for hitting 500 from somebody all the way in Canada. Yeah, because I've been following him for a while. So, anywho, I'm not going to try and stay out here too long. I figure the longer they go, the more boring they are. You know what I'm saying? There's not too many people are saying anything in here anyway. I'm on my phone, so I'm not on the laptop today. The laptop is out in the living room. I'm in the bedroom, so. Ah. Oh, so like I was saying, as far as the valves are concerned on that, the tap is so mild. Like, like when a valve tap is really strong and you know that they need to adjust the valves. The valves that are on this are they're not tapping like that. It's like they're all in very, very, very barely noticeable, and none of them are actually louder than others. So, if anything, it's probably going to need a quarter turn. That's it. Oh man, my freaking back. Oh. I just want to say to all those who did actually subscribe and liked and all that happiness. I want to thank everybody who did. Because I've been at it for a long time, man, for a long time. And I know I'm older than most people. I'm not like your average 20s and 30s kind of person. I'm like your average 50s type of guy. But I'm still pulling a little bit of interest in cars, and as long as I don't wind up with the same people that I dealt with who have uh, made my experience chaotic, as long as I don't have any more of them, I'll still keep withdrawing interest in the old cars, and I'll keep trying to put them back together. Uh, but if I have to deal with anybody else like that, yeah, because at that point it's a hassle. It's not even worth it anymore. It's just come on, really, why even bother? And the other thing is, all right, like for example, they want you to make content on YouTube. Okay, but what am I supposed to do? Sit there constantly making content of me griping at people? When I actually have cars I can work on here. But the thing is that I'm not in a rush to get it done. If you notice, none of my videos are actually none of them are dubbed. I do not have that in my vehicle, so that's the way that goes. Uh, see. So yeah, this week I went to Crapola, but then come back in went the same way. So uh, that's about it. Anybody got say anything to say? No comments, no nothing. Okay. Well, folks, I think I'm going to get off of here because I'm actually starting to pass out here. I just wanted to get on here and let people know that because I know that certain people are trying to still try and make me look bad. Because they can't give up on being wrong. They can't admit that they were wrong. They can't admit that uh, I'm actually one of the first people that has actually uh, done restoration work on an engine the way I've done it, with the engine still in the car, attached to the bell housing, attached to the transmission, and attached to the engine mounts in the car. Most people take the engine out, engine hoist, engine stand, and redo the car that way, where they're looking down at it, not while they're underneath it looking up at it. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to straddle a cast iron head, while you're standing on a plastic stool that's sliding out from underneath you, while your uncomfortable gut is on the fender, and you can't place the head in the right place without missing or crumpling up the gasket. So that's kind of things that I have a problem with. So that's about it, folks. I think I'm going to call it quits because I'm getting sleepy. All right, and thank you for everybody who's uh, actually subscribed and brought me to my 500 subscriber level. And I hope I can keep you guys interested in some more juiciness of working on things with the cars. Like, I still have a lot of things to do with both cars, but mainly my concern was just trying to get that 57 engine running. That's all I wanted all along, you know? And I achieved that. Now it's time to work on others. And after this, there'll be no more saying of anybody else. Those members of the and group are not going to change. They're going to stay the way they are, and I'm just not going to deal with it. And I'm not going to be part of the cash cow. I don't have the money to go all the way down there anyway, so that's another issue right there. And God forbid if I ever did try and attempt that trip, and I'm driving one of my old cars and they break down along the way, and I don't know the area that I'm in, guess what? I'm up the creek without a paddle, so I don't want to do that either. All right, so let me get off of here and we'll see everybody another time, okay? Have a great evening, folks. See you soon. Bye. Yeah. Let's see, where is it?
I said weekend, Herb, that's all.
Okay, fine. No romance. But sex is still on the table, right?